Hey, you are along for the ride with the Mad Dog and Cole, Mini Mad Dog, Farrell. Welcome to episode 26, brother.
Thank you. Anyone can get tattoos, but you have to earn scars.
Preach.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure? Stay calm.
Man, as always, thank you so much for the inspiration, living in the sun, flying through the air, living your life the way you want to. Thank you, Mr. Evil Knievel. Funny thing, I had a gentleman I was talking to last weekend in Reno, and we'll get to the Reno races. It was telling me all about, I'm sure, what he read on Google about Evil Knievel. And he was chatting me up about how he was a mathematics wizard, really. Um, and for figuring all these jumps and everything out. I said, did you ever read any of his quotes, like the ones that said, I did everything by the seat of my pants? That's why I got hurt so much. I said, yeah, he had a natural gift. I said, he wasn't sitting down with a protractor and writing, you know, geothermal equations for multi-molecular expansion to get a
Taking derivatives of
motorcycle.
logarithms to figure out how to jump Caesar's palace. No,
Yeah,
sir.
no. He looked at it and went, I think that'll work if I hit it this fast. And technically it did.
A lot of times it worked,
Yeah.
and sometimes it didn't.
And usually it was quite spectacular if it didn't, and quite spectacular if it did. So thank you, Evil. I just want to throw that out there.
And speaking of thank yous, we can't go any farther without thanking our first responders, thanking our troops, everyone who keeps us safe in this great country and allows us to do this podcast.
Amen. Couldn't agree more. Thank you all. We respect and appreciate you greatly. On top of that, we want to be sure and thank our partners for along for the ride, Kicker Performance Audio at kicker.com for all your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, off-road, personal audio, and of course your boat needs. Hit them up, kicker.com. They have you covered. Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Man, Tommy and the gang have got these things figured out. I love these things. I wear the Boogie Bombs in a limited edition mono series, dark smoke polarized lens, and their ANSI 87 and OSHA approved safety lenses. On top of that, hey, they float, so you don't even got to take them off if you jump off the boat. If you wear white wraps like I do, you just pick them out in the water. There they are. Swim to them, grab them, put them back on, carry on. Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. The Premix Podcast, our man Cole, dude, hunting down all the desert stuff. Man, if you're out in the desert and you need some photos, get a hold of our man. Send him a message on Instagram at the Premix Podcast. All one word. He'll get you hooked up. Thank you, Kelsey Morel Film, for handling our YouTube videos. That's right. You can now find us on YouTube at MAddOG Media. MAddog Media. Look for our helmet logo. And dude, with that, there's a whole bunch of excitement I want to go into about Reno, but I'm like bursting to tell you the coolest thing ever. So short story long, I went and did Reno Arenacross, as you know, the AMA Arenacross Championship Series presented by Kicker Performance Audio. Successful show. We'll go into Reno in a minute. And anyways, I wrapped up Friday night, was on an airplane at dark 30 Saturday morning. I actually got to the hotel early Saturday morning. Let's put it that way, and was still on an airplane Saturday morning. Flew back to Vegas and joined the crew just in time for the Florida Open for the 2023 Mobile Electronics Association Knowledge Fest presented by Kicker. And well, Kicker's a partner of them also in Las Vegas at the Paris. So I got to work with the team. It's always great to work, but I'll get to all that. The highlight is they had their 2023 awards banquet, which reflects 2022, but 2023 because you're in 2023. Kicker Performance Audio won the top manufacturer award in power sports and motorcycles in 2023 for the entire Mobile Electronics Association. And I was fortunate enough to be there at the banquet, and they were kind enough to let me get up on stage with them when they accepted the award. And that was super rad. Congratulations, Kicker, on receiving such a prestigious award. On top of that, unlike many other manufacturers, they were actually runner up in the marine category. So, a lot of manufacturers kind of a one trick pony, and even to be runner up in marine was pretty solid. Man, kicker.com, Kicker Performance Audio, now celebrating their 50th year in business. Check them out. Thanks for the opportunity. So let's get to Reno, dude.
Let's get to Reno. So obviously you were able to get a little bit of sleep without planes flying into your room. I know that was kind of distracting when you're looking out the window.
It was. It was. Yeah, man. We got half decent sleep there. I mean, you're in a casino bed, so what do you expect? And it's not, like Bellagio. So, it was the Nugget, but the people were super nice, and they kept me stocked up with multiple coffee pods, which, as you know, is quite critical. So, yeah, no hate there. And we got on to the race day, man. Holy cow. What a day. It was awesome. One of the highlights of race day for me was my daughter was road tripping down to visit us in Lake Havasu from Eastern Oregon and came through about 10 o'clock in the morning and spent about an hour hanging out with me at the arena, which was,
Oh, how cool.
yeah, dude, that was super rad. And it was nice to be able to go introduce her to, a bunch of the teams and a bunch of people to do with the AMA Arenacross Championship presented by Kickers. So that was pretty cool, and for her to kind of see what I do in that venue. So that was pretty rad. But man, they started practice, and there were some fast guys out there besides the usual, Peters, Bitterman. I think in the first practice session, actually, I think Peters ended up like fourth or something like that, and Bitterman was fifth. That being said, like the top five were separated by 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously nobody there are slouches, but yeah, at least there was some competition, right? At least KP and KB aren't running away with it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was good to see. Competition is great for the sport, as you know, and dude, it was just yeah. I mean, as they got deeper and deeper into practice, and then qualifying one, qualifying two, KP ended up on the top step by I think 2/100ths of a second. And I think KB ended up third by about 10th of a second. So it was pretty rad. It was good. It was a racy track. Some gnarly ass whoops in this track. So I think they were turning mid 30-second laps. So, it was exciting to watch. There's a pretty significant rhythm section. Uh, and then just like I said, just gnarly whoops. And they ran two rhythm sections and a gnarly section of whoops. And then it was super cool. Probably, I would say 2 to 3 foot deep sand all around the 180 at one end of the arena, which I thought was kind of a nice throw towards Daytona, if you will,
Yeah. Okay.
you know, and it was like not packed at all.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's an equalizer. Uh,
yeah,
an arena cross bike couldn't be set up more opposite than what you want in the sand.
yep,
That makes it exciting.
yeah, absolutely. So, and there was some exciting happenings for sure. The way they designed the track. It was really cool. It was really fast and a lot of action, but right out the gates, man, they came straight out the gate and made a hairpin 180. Um, and the whole shot was right after the hairpin, and that proved to be problematic for some guys. In the first, I don't remember which pro heat it was, but the pro heat that KB was in, that Bitterman was in, um, they all got there about the same time, and I'm not exactly sure what happened to KB, but he ended up having to smack down everybody in the LCQ to get to the main.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, not common for him at all.
Yeah, it makes
Um,
for a longer night for sure when you're doing an extra
for
moto. Yep.
for sure, and props to him, man. I mean, he was smart in the LCQ and let the Jackrabbits crash, and then just kind of worked his way. He didn't try and hole shot it, just picked his way through. Um, wasn't impatient, when he took the lead, he was gone. Like
Yeah.
GONE in all caps gone, but he rode a really smart LCQ. And I think he probably got out. I think his bike chief Ashley was probably out there when he had a pretty good lead, throwing the pit board out, going, take it easy kind of deal, rest.
Yeah. Survive.
Yeah. Yeah, you still got two more mains to do. So, um, but yeah, man, it was good. Man, the racing was good. The semis were good. Uh, it's cool. I wasn't a fan because being a racer, I've always hated the inverted start.
Yeah, you're
Um,
getting punished for your
for being awesome.
accomplishments. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I've always hated that. And, when we raced, I think it was sportsman cars, they made us P-pick, and the hobby cars that Trish raced, they made us P-pick. If you qualified like top five or top 10, you would have to, depending on the number they drew, it could be top seven. You would have to P-pick for your starting spot.
What's
And
P
that
picking?
always, so there's this little container, there's these little round things they use in pool,
Okay.
that have a flat side with a number on them. I believe they use them in snooker.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and it's in this little, like, kind of a, I don't know, kind of a gourd looking container, and you shake it up and dump a pee out, and that's the number that you got, right? So that's where you're starting. At least with the AMA Arenacross Championship presented by Kicker Series, you know where you're starting based on where you finish in the first main. So, and that was, like I said, there were some racy guys. There were some riders, I think maybe um, that do some of the independent supercross runs out of Sacramento that were there. There weren't any names that I recognized, which is probably bad on me, but they were fast, and so to see, of course, KP started on the pole and had his gate pick. And I think he got shuffled back to like second on the start or third and just ate him for lunch, did what he does. I mean, the kid is so smooth.
Yeah, mature, smooth, calm,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it, and it's hard to remember that like 8 months ago he had neck surgery, you
Yeah.
know?
That's nuts. And it's crazy to think too, because if you're on the world stage of Supercross, obviously you're a badass rider, but it's easy to get lost in the results, I would say.
Yes.
Um, he was never a bad rider. He never did anything crazy in Supercross, but it's like Arena Cross has been his calling. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, well,
dude,
I think he even got I think last year he was finished on the podium once maybe before he got injured, and the year before I believe in the 250 East he was on the podium two or three or four times. So he's he's definitely world class, but when it comes to arena cross, man, he's just
he's like the new
you know
Buddy Antunez. He's like the guy.
yeah, yeah, and he's just so smooth. He's fun to watch.
Hmm.
Um, Bitterman's fun to watch too because like Peters is like no offense, KP, he's kind of like a jockey. He's
Okay.
he's like what you expect from basically a supercross racer. They're not usually really big people, you
No,
know.
no.
Um, and KB, on the other hand, is more like a Tomac, kind of tall.
Hmm.
And so it's fun to watch him because their styles are completely different.
Yeah, they have to hit every obstacle completely different.
Yeah,
And that's so funny because short guys like me and tall guys like you will always argue about what's better. And it'll never be agreed upon.
right, right. From everything from where the bars are, where the pegs are, where the shifter is, where the brake is,
Who
where the
has an
levers
advantage in
are.
corners? Who's better at whoops? What,
Yeah, yeah,
does it take more energy if you're taller to stand up off the seat each time?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so much to that. You're 100% right. It's the ongoing like duke it out.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll never be resolved, and that's okay.
no, that's good because controversy drives the sport, right?
Yeah,
So ask Jared Steinke, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Um, and there's another good rider. I wish he would have been there, but he wasn't. Um, all that being said, yeah, man, when we got to main two, holy cow, it was like you know, KP started dead last, and he just worked his way through, worked his way through. Um, he was right back there with Bitterman. And I think they ended up, I think Bitterman uh, got knocked down at one point, had to get back up and come back again.
Oh wow.
And yeah, he ended up fourth or fifth for the night. But KP just, you know, you would think he just by how many wins he has in arena cross and his success, you would think he just cleaned everybody out in 2 laps and was gone. But these guys were fat. He had his work cut out, and he just, it was fun to watch. And as he chased down, third place, the fans started getting louder, and then, it took him probably 2 or 3 laps chase down second place, and the fans were starting to get riled up, and it took him about the same, probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 laps, chase down first place, and it didn't take him long to get from the back to mid pack, right? Not long
Hmm.
at all. So, but after that, he worked his butt off, and I think with like on the white flag, I think he ended up making the pass for the lead, and everybody
Talk
just,
about entertainment.
yeah, everybody just went crazy. And I think he did it in the whoops, you know, and he did it clean.
Like a gladiator.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, okay, let me show you how this is done, boy, you know. And on top of it, he's a super nice kid,
Oh, super
so
respectful. Great
yeah,
interview. Yep.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and that was Reno, man. It was exciting. I had no problems getting up there. The flight was good. Um, wrapped, packed, and stacked that night. I think I put my head on the pillow Saturday morning at 12:37, and I was at 6:50. I pulled in to return the rental car at the airport at 6:55 in the morning.
Yeah, so you took a nap. Yeah.
Yeah, I took a short nap. Yeah, it was so exciting. I had a hard time going to sleep anyway. Um, and then right straight into Knowledge Fest, man. And it's cool because here I am, with fans and the general public, and then you go to Knowledge Fest, which is designed for um, manufacturers, dealers, and distributors. And so, um, the type of questions that you have to answer and stuff like that are completely different, and
Yeah, it's not so much of a marketing ploy like you would be at a show or like a sand show or something where people are coming through and going, that would be cool on my Civic or whatever. Now this is actually technical specs.
yes, yeah, absolutely. And it was super cool to see. I got to see a lot of dealers that I've worked with and a lot of reps, kicker rep firms, people that work for the rep firms that I've dealt with, um, and got to do events with it when I'm doing something in their area, like Crazy Pete in Texas, um, just made my American Flat Track Texas so much fun. He's such a rad dude, and of course, working with the boss, J Dub. Shout out Dr. Wynn, Jeremy Wynn, my boss, J Dub. You're the beast. Um, yeah, it was just really, really cool. We had the Fiat there. It's got the kicker quad box, which is a custom built. It's a mass produced, custom built speaker box,
Okay.
sub box that has four L7 Solo Barrack 12-inch subwoofers in it, and it's in the back of a Fiat 500.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
I have
there's
a no, go ahead.
no. You go ahead.
I'm like just thinking about like I have a single 12-inch comp in my Ranger and just thinking about how much power that must be in a Fiat 500.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Let's just say there's not a lot of play left in the rear suspension of that car, um, but it sure sounds good and it's a lot of fun, and yeah, man, it's just rad to be around, so many of the industry people and be able to hang out with some of them. And then we did that Saturday. Had a great Italian dinner Sunday at this little hole in the wall place that the big boss was a fan of, and I'm glad he was because it was really good.
Red and white
Sun,
wine included, I saw.
yes,
Garlic
yes,
bread and yeah,
yeah,
minestrone soup. Big fan of minestrone soup.
yeah. I had the salad,
Yeah, all right.
which was exceptional. Like, I'm not an Italian dressing guy, and they bring the salad out like it's like one of those you don't have a choice.
You're getting salad.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the waiter was completely offended when one of the guys was like, "No, I don't want super salad." He was like, well, "You want minestrone?" He's like, "No, I'm good." He brought him minestrone anyways. It's like, no, you're not good. You
You're
will
you're
eat.
you're getting it.
Yeah,
Mom is
yeah,
cooking
yeah,
in the back.
yeah, yeah. So it was pretty rad, and yeah, man, great dinner. Back up and at it. Sunday back on the floor, and then at that event, Kicker displays pretty much every product, one of pretty much every product they make, including the new 50th anniversary gold letter comp.
I want it so bad.
Ah, dude, it looks so good in person. Um, yeah, it's just amazing. You you can almost feel the history. Like it's pretty obvious Mr. Irby um, like blessed those and spent some time on them, you know. Um, yeah, so it's like they're rad.
Yeah.
Uh, and then the new Solo X, which is coming out. It's been a couple years in getting released due to issues, but the new Solo X is a throwback to the old Solo X, but it's even beefier, um, even bigger, even more refined. Um, and good Lord, dude, the weight of these things is unbelievable. Like the 15 is like seriously two hands to lift.
Really.
Massive. Yeah. Yeah. And so that being said, they had some the new power sports amps out and stuff. It was really cool. Um, see some of the new power sports products, some new marine products. It was great to, see all the 12-volt media people that we deal with. That was super rad, and so yeah, it was a good time. And then when everything was up, we just have to pack everything up back in its boxes, in its appropriate boxes. um, and so you know it, it takes a while to get everything packed away and all the display stands packed away and all that. um, we got all that done, and called it night, and I got up early to beat the Vegas traffic and rolled out probably about 6 and rolled home for the day. And so, I had a bunch of course, admin stuff to do after you get home from being gone 6 days or whatever. So, bunch of emails to catch up on, all that stuff. So, uh, good to be home. Um, Man, today I went over to the motorcycle launch. Um, had lunch with Matt, the bike chief from Fast Track Racing. A couple other guys, the founder of Kirker Exhaust, and a couple other guys. And so, yeah, that was really a good time. It's cool to hear some of their stories and share some stories back and forth. And yeah, tomorrow morning, bright and early, back on the road. We're off to Denver for more AMA Arenacross Championship presented by Kicker, man.
Back to your favorite arena, Denver.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was in Loveland. I actually like that arena in Loveland. The arena in Denver is old, 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 and the people are super nice.
Yeah, I
And
remember you saying that the
that,
people are good to you.
yeah, people are super nice, and that's what makes that arena. Um, it's certainly nothing else.
Nice political answer, but I like
Yeah,
it, you know?
yeah. So, it's yeah. I'm excited for that. And then I think when I get home, I'm going to be actually right now as it stands. I should be home about a week and a half. So
You're not going to know what to do with yourself.
no, so that's a mid-season break, and then we're off to Hobbs, Amarillo, uh, I think Salem, Virginia. Um, and I can't remember the last two. I think the last one I think the season wraps in Lexington, Kentucky. Um, but I won't be at that one. I will be at the American Flat Track Super TT at Firebird Raceway during Arizona Bike Week.
That race is so bonkers. If you're listening and don't know what it is, they race on the short course truck track and they fly motorcycles through the air and go through berms that they're never designed to go through, and it's a lot of entertainment.
Yeah, it should be really good, man. You should try and come out for that.
That is enticing. That does sound like a lot of fun. And Phoenix is
Just
fun, so
yeah, just saying. And you got peeps there.
I don't hate a good time. I got peeps in Arizona. Make it work.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's that's about a wrap on what I got. Other than I do want to give a special shout out to the AMA Arenacross Championships presented by Kicker Crew and Wes Kane, because at Reno they started a tribute to our people, service people worldwide, first responders, and all that. And, we've always been a fan of that and respectful of that. And during the national anthem, they ask everybody to turn their phone light on, and to look out across the arena. I mean, it was sold out, so 3,600 people, all like probably 80% of them standing there with their phone light on, their hand on their heart. As it was a pretty touching moment for sure.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, it's patriotism's always a good thing, and especially when it's around motorsports, there's a added bit of magic to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what it's about. Um, we wouldn't be able to do what we do today and be able to make the choices, no matter what choice it is you make in your life, without our service people. And thank God for first responders. Um, ours at Arena Cross had some work to do last weekend and did it effectively and efficiently and took good care of people. So, yeah, big shout out to the Arena Cross crew for doing that and recognizing, and huge shout out to the Patriots in Reno for jumping right in there. So, yeah, man. Other than that, all right, Cole, what you got?
Is it time to talk about King of the Hammers?
Yes. Oh, dude, our our boy Seth, episode 18. If you haven't caught it, flip back and catch it because it's right before Dakar and it's really entertaining. He's a great guy. I I am like not sure I should call him, a great kid, but he's still a kid to me. He always will be. Him, and he brought his co-dog from Rally Raid and Dakar, Dennis Zenz, and they raced hammers in their new, I guess I don't know. It's a Can-Am Maverick
X3
X3.
RS Maverick something or other?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it was specially prepared just for hammers or if it's his desert car. But super, super rad. That I know they qualified well, and I think they finished in the top 5. So shout out to those guys. I mean, first time ever. Wow, rad. I sure say shout out a lot. All right, now we're going to Cole for the stats about the important stuff because Cole has been glued while working, glued to tracking and paying attention to all this. And, we don't call him the stat man for nothing. So
I've been
lead
called
us through.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of still like Trickle Dickle.
I like the trickle part.
All right. Lead us through hammers.
Man, King of the Hammers, at the time of this recording, it's still going. We're in the smack middle of it. That's how big this event's gotten. And I have to preface it by saying that when this whole thing started, I didn't know what it was. It felt kind of weird that there's these rock guys in my neck of the woods at Johnson Valley, and you do this event, and you're bringing all these out of town people. I'm like, man, this leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Are these guys polluting the desert? Are they being respectful? What are these rock donkeys doing? Swallow my words. Now it's an amazing event. It's over 3 weekends now, which is just bonkers. I can only imagine trying to deal with the Marine base and the Bureau of Land Management, everybody and all your sponsors and the food vendors and all the electricity and the bathrooms. And we could go on for years talking about how much of a pain in the ass this event has to be to put on. But the first weekend was King of the Motos, and our friend of the show, Cooper Abbott, had a great finish, right around top 5. So once again, if you haven't listened to that Destry Abbott episode, please do so. He's Cooper Abbott's #1 fan and a great dad. And
Episode
you can, and
24.
episode 24, check that out with Destry Abbott. Get a lot of Cooper talk in there. So started with King of the Motos last weekend, or I should say 2 weekends ago. And now fast forward to this last weekend we had. It was the Toyo Desert Challenge presented by Monster Energy. I can't believe I remembered that. 40-mile desert course on Saturday, and then the 100-mile loop twice on Sunday. I can't say enough good things, and I wish Dave Cole was on this recording right now, but the fact that there can be a desert race with hundreds of corners and a literally 100-mile loop, and there's cameras everywhere on the course, whether it be drones, live shots. I mean, it's hard to get cell phone service out there, and now you have 8 to 9 hours of live free television on YouTube to cover desert racing. I mean, I cannot be more excited for how good this has to be for the sport. Obviously, you're going to get some ding-dongs coming out there to see what it's all about who don't know how to drive in the sand and the rocks, but, you know, hopefully they learn and come back and appreciate the desert and spend money at their local power sports dealer, buying kicker audio and whatnot. So, I mean, just crazy. Yeah. So they had the prologue on Saturday. Saturday evening, they had 1450 trucks, which are linked desert trucks like Rangers and Steel Cab working doors, racing against the Class 11 cars, which had a 3-mile head start. The trucks had a head start. So if a Class 11 stock Volkswagen Beetle caught you, you were out of the race. And man, Race Desert and Facebook was just absolutely blowing up with how entertaining this race was, because everybody knew somebody in this race. And so it'd be like, go, go. You see Herbie coming up the hill, and you're like, stand on the gas, man. There's a 65 Volkswagen coming for you. So about half of the field got taken out just by the Volkswagens themselves. And they think that in present time, this is the most Class 11 cars they've ever had in one race. There was 37 lined up on the lake bed to go head to head.
Dude, I saw the video of the start on that, and
Can you believe that?
It was a still start. It wasn't. I don't think it was a dead engine start, but it was a like no rolling start.
Full on land rush start across the dry lake bed.
Damn.
Heading on what they call Baldwin's Jump, which is just a massive sand hill. It's hard to get up in 2-wheel drive, let alone if you have 40 horsepower and, you know, single barrel carbs. But yeah, Sunday's coverage was great. I was able to watch the entire race. I'm a huge nerd for the Herbst family, and so they were leading the entire race, only to be beaten by my personal friends, the Householders. So, nice. I mean, just what an emotional day, man. It was just glued to my freaking, and I can't express this enough, free TV, and it was on YouTube, and you can subscribe for $25 for 3 weeks, and you don't have to watch the 30 seconds of commercials they do every hour. But I mean, just to have this international scale coverage was just incredible. So shout out to Dave Cole and the whole King of the Hammers media team. We have nothing personally invested in it this year, but I just wanted to say thank you for doing it. Thank you for bringing people to desert. All the local dealers and hotels and gas stations very much appreciate you. Stimulate our economy here. But also need to do a very real, very special shout out to our man in the Bomber Pro Buggy car who won the Great American Short Course Pro Buggy class, Lorenzo Bonacci in the Pro Buggy. He had a pretty good qualifying, and in the 12-lap main event, brought it home for the first round of Great American Short Course. So I don't know.
That is one good-looking Bomber eyewear car too.
And it looks cooler all the time. I mean, it used to be white and red. Now it's all black and gray and red. And
it's pretty sick. I saw Tommy had posted a picture somewhere, and I was like, rad. It's his nephew. So, super rad. And on what you were saying, not to interrupt you, but I'm interrupting you. Dave Cole has really done a hell of a job building this whole King of the Hammers. Really, it goes beyond event, you know?
Yeah.
And on top of what Cole was saying, yes, you know, there's racing last weekend. and there was racing this weekend, and he'll get to racing next weekend. But there's racing every day also.
Every single day, whether it's qualifying or a Holly EFI shootout, kids racing, dude, it's nonstop. I mean, I have a real job and it's hard to pay attention because it's live stream on YouTube every freaking day.
Yeah, and they just added a short course this year.
Yep, first year having Great American Short Course.
Yeah, I think, did they run that today
They ran that. Today is
or
Tuesday,
yesterday?
and so they ran it, yeah, yesterday and Monday. Yep.
Yeah, cool. Okay, carry on. Sorry,
Yeah. No, I didn't have much more. Just
I would agree with you that Dave Cole, nice job, Dave,
yeah,
for sure.
keep it going. I can only imagine. I just hope you're well compensated for the amount of sleepless nights that this event must be. But yeah, I hope that this race is here for generations and generations to come.
For sure, man. I've had the good fortune to be able to work a couple of King of the Hammers back in I believe it was 17 and 18. I had the time and was allowed to work it for my good buddy Russell over at Buggy Whips. And, I have some amazingly good memories. The first one, I think I was there 6 days or 7 days, maybe. The second one was when the first, I think that was A team when they first expanded it. And so I was there out at KOH Johnson Valley for like 14 days or something like that. And that was a cold year. I think I went through 2 bottles of propane in the toy hauler.
Wow.
Running the furnace at night. Yeah, and hot water. So, but I've been blessed with some really good personal experiences at King of the Hammers, and you know, one of the most memorable was the day I spent just hanging out. Well, 2/3 of a day, anyways. I spent just hanging out with the late Jesse Combs, and you know, unfortunately, that was the last time we got to hang out together. Um, but I have the pictures, and
No.
I thought it was pretty rad. She was freezing. I gave her my coat, and she was just so grateful, and I'm like, hey, what would friends do? I mean, this is what we do. And so yeah.
What a beautiful memory to have.
Yeah, it's a good one, and it wouldn't happen without King Dave Cole and King of the Hammers. So, um, I'll be forever grateful for that. So, um, yeah. So, and I know you've got some other stuff. So, sorry, I kind of sidetracked there, and
No, you're good. I mean, it's all important and all relevant. I just have to say that it's not easy to get out to the desert necessarily, whether it be cost wise or just getting everything together. So the fact that someone can sit on their couch and or even in their bed and stream it on their computer. I mean, I don't know. It sounds so silly, but there's something like emotional to where it's like, dude, Pete, not everyone, especially right now, can afford to go do the things they love. And so if you can spread this for free and like people don't feel like they're missing out on anything, maybe just coughing down dust for 14 days. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it just brings something emotional where it's like, I just want to say thank you again for bringing this to the masses, because not everyone can get out there.
yeah, for sure. And I think it's brilliant. It's really cool, and it's awesome that they do that. But it's also a brilliant marketing step for them, because if you watch it live or stream it this year, what's the chance you're going to try and figure out a way to go to at least part of it to see live and in person?
100%. Yep.
I mean, I'm I would love to do another hammers, and don't get me wrong, it's brutal when you're working a booth. It's brutal.
Yeah,
Um,
not an easy place to be
no,
outside for that long.
yeah, and you're working days. We're working days where like sometimes 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Or even earlier. Certain days, the show car had to be in the booth before 5:30 in the morning. Um, so it's like somebody's got to get up and move it. So, um, yeah, no, a lot of good memories, a lot of cool stuff. Uh, Great event. And if you get a chance, check it out anywhere you can find it. Obviously, if you go to, what is it? King of the Hammers? No, ultra4.com
Got it right
or
here.
kingofthehammers.com.
Let's do some producer work here. Yep, it's literally kingofthehammers.com.
Yeah. And that will direct you to wherever you can live stream stuff, I believe. So,
Absolutely. Yep, it's
yeah.
on YouTube, and they have the recap videos and everything. So if you can't make it out there, great streaming, but definitely try to plan to go out there if you can. It's just like anything in the motorsports world. You can't fully experience it until you're there, but trust me, it is worth to go at least once to get everything you've ever owned covered in dust and have teeth, covered in dust for days. But it's a
Inside of your
magical experience
lungs,
inside your lungs, in
come
your
home with the
ears,
hammers hack. Yep.
break your
Yep.
vacuum. Yep.
Yep. Pretty
But yeah,
rad.
so it rolls on this week. They have the UTV rock racing as opposed to the actual desert racing coming up, and then the Everyman Challenge, which is really exciting because it once again puts the viewers at home in the right seat where they feel like, okay, maybe I can do this, and maybe I can build my jalopy outside and get out there and wrestle with some of the big boys. And then of course they have the Race of Hammers on Sunday, which is the big deal. The full built, damn near trophy truck rock crawlers,
Yeah.
not to be missed.
No, no, amazing vehicles. I know a couple of guys that have those, and yeah, they're uh budget wise, they're way far and away out of my budget. And realistically, power wise and stuff, very much trophy truckish. Um, so yeah, totally insane stuff. Insane. So yeah, what else you got? What you got coming up?
Nothing right now. Nothing.
All right.
Nothing fully in the calendar. Jake, my District 38 good friend, will have a race here in about 2 weeks. So I wish I could say that I'm fully committed, but have a little couple logistical problems I got to figure out. And if I can get that done, I'll be more than happy to get my crew chief redemption and get a damn checkered flag this time.
Yeah, I know that. I know how that feels, and I know how bad you want to get back out there and like stomp the yard, so to speak. So, um, I get that. I hope it all works out as far as that goes. I think I already told everybody where I'm going to be, and that's Denver this weekend. If you get out, come out to the Western Sports Complex in Denver. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Um, well, Western Complex in Denver, and check out the history of ancient building and come out. I'm going to be working with my buddy Mike Brown from MB303 Customs, uh, who's a super rad kicker dealer there in Denver. Builds some gnarly custom stuff. Love working with him. Look forward to that. Man, yeah, it's should be a goodie. For as much as I, you know, am not a fan of Denver. Weather forecast looks okay to fly in and out. So let's hope for the best.
Hope for the best.
We're working on some guests for some upcoming shows that are going to be pretty exciting. And I want to thank everybody for listening. Um, we're just continuing to grow and we're going to continue to make content just because we don't care if you like it or not.
Still going to get done no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still going to do it because we like it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Keeps
So,
us out of jail.
yes, exactly. We got some, my eyes just got distracted on my BITD uh, support sticker there and race sticker, and we got to tell that story at some point. I don't think we have.
I don't think so. No, I absolutely know
No.
we have not on the show.
So that will be something for the show at some point.
We'll
I
plan that
won.
for your week and a half lull when you're not on the ride.
Yeah, I won and lost
And within a matter of minutes.
Vegas to Reno within
4 minutes,
yeah
did you say?
4.8 miles. Yeah,
Oh, 4 miles. Gotcha.
yeah. So literally, it was time wise, it was within 30 seconds. So, but that is for another day at this point. I think we are good, good, good. Uh, we're going to be sure and thank our partners, Kicker Performance Audio. I am wearing, you can't see it, but I am wearing the Kicker Power Sports Audio rash guard today, or jersey, under race jersey, uh, as a shout out to them winning the very prestigious MEA Manufacturer of the Year in power sports and motorcycle. Congratulations. Go check them out. Kicker.com. Of course, Bomber Floating Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Love my glasses. Tommy's got it figured out. Hit their website. You would not believe how many styles, how many different lenses, how many mirrored colored lenses they have alone, let alone safety glasses and everything from their new Mega down to their Strange, that's a aviator style glass. uh, all great stuff. I have beat the shit out of these glasses for years, and they just keep going. Bomber Floating Eyewear. Oh, and they float. Bombereyewear.com. The Premix Podcast, Cole.
Premix Podcast. I try to take photos and media of anything and everything that's cool. So whether it's desert racing, whether it's just riding, if you have some cool go-kart you built down the street, hit me up. I love to be involved with whatever's cool. So the Premix Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. I fully admit I'm not the best with messages, but I promise if you send one, I'll see it eventually.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, Kelsey Morel Film, who's doing all of our YouTube stuff. And we're getting that around. We had quite a backlog for her to deal with, and she has a real job producing commercials, and also is going to school. So we're a little bit behind, but she's been on it like crazy, and I'm grateful that Cole and her work together. They include me in the messages, I think, just to be nice, but I don't know squat about squat. So, Kelsey Morel Film on Instagram, at Kelsey Morel Film. The Premix Podcast on Instagram, at The Premix Podcast. And, of course, be sure and give us a follow on Instagram at MAddOG, MAddOG _media, or follow us on YouTube, MAddOG space media. Look for the logo. With that, I feel like Cole should have some awkward parting comment right now. What do you got? Just throw something at me.
If it's been on the floor too long, probably don't eat it.
I concur. MAddOG out.